I can't believe we still have to talk about this. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Man, it's so good to be back. I'm back in Florida. If you guys didn't know from my previous videos, I said I was going to be on vacation. Went to Texas, visited some family, had a good time. Now we are back to business and back to the regular schedule and back to posting Giants content. If you guys saw me these past couple of weeks, I looked like a caveman. I couldn't get to my barber, but now you already know I'm looking clean, you know what I'm saying? Ooh. But now we've got to talk about this again when it comes to Jaxson Dart and the mainstream media constantly trying to peer pressure the Giants or kind of get the media rolling in wanting to see Jaxson Dart start. Why? Because it brings headlines. Rookie quarterbacks bring headlines. Russell Wilson really doesn't do that anymore, besides kind of crapping on him and father time approaching and everything that's wrong with the Giants. They just want something to talk about, and they are going to do it at the Giants' expense. Now, we know, if you guys don't know, unless you're living under a rock, because all Giants fans know about Mark Schlereth and his weird hatred for the Giants. And it's not like this is coming from some sort of fan point of view where it's like, oh, you know, the fans hate the refs hate the Giants. The refs hate the Giants. It's not one of those things where it's like you are so biased to your own team that you recognize any sort of criticism or anything like that to your team and you say it's hatred, right? This person or this group of people or the rest, they hate my favorite team. No, I don't know what it is with Mark Schlereth. Maybe you guys know the beef. I don't really care to look into it, but Mark Schlereth just doesn't seem to like the Giants at all. I've never seen him say positive things about him, and he's commentated on Giants games before and just completely just shat on us constantly. And now he's doing the same thing here, talking about the most wildest statement you'll ever hear. Roll the tape.
The Giants should cut Russell Wilson and start Jaxson Dart. I'll take this from the perspective of what went down in Denver just a year ago. In Denver, they had Russell Wilson. They moved on from Russell Wilson. Russell he has a propensity to take way too many sacks, not throw the ball in the middle of the football field, all these different things. And they drafted a rookie quarterback, and everybody said, oh, the roster's not very good. The roster is 31st ranked roster in all of football. Oh, it's a quarterback who, yeah, he may be smart, but he lacks a big-time arm talent, or he lacks athleticism, or he can't, all these different things. And the bottom line, there was a struggle for 3 or 4 games. He wasn't great right out of the gate. But then he became the second highest touchdown quarterback as a rookie next to Justin Herbert. He threw 29 touchdowns last year, almost threw for 4,000 yards last year. And to me, if you drafted Jaxson Dart, you came back up in the 25th pick overall, and you're a roster right now offensively that has struggled, and you're in a division that has Philly, that has Washington, that has a Cowboy team that expects to bounce back with it since they got their quarterback back, you start your rookie and you go with the growing pains and you understand that you're not going to the playoffs right now. You do have a great defense, which is one of the best things you can give a young quarterback is a great defense. I think it's just time to rip off the Band-Aid and say, Jaxson Dart, you're our.
This just sickens me. I mean, to my core. How many times do we have to do this when we talk about Jaxson Dart? It's funny. These are the same exact people, and I kid you not. I bet you we'll find something about Mark Schlereth if I do enough digging. But I'm telling you right now, when you go back and you look at all these media experts talking about, the NFL draft and the quarterback, because obviously that's always the biggest position that they're talking about, right? The top quarterbacks in every single draft. When you talk about this quarterback class, I'm talking even the Cam Ward, a lot of these guys are saying, this is not the strongest quarterback class. None of these guys should start. Some of these guys shouldn't be drafted in the first round. In fact, if you draft these guys, they have to sit a year or two. This is the constant slogan, the line, the script that these guys constantly spew out during draft season because they don't feel like these guys are good enough, and that's fair enough. But then these guys get drafted late in the first round. Jaxson Dart gets drafted 25th overall. It's not like he was drafted 5th overall or 1st overall. 25th overall. And now you're getting all of these guys saying Jaxson Dart needs to start right now. Chase Daniel, his flip-flopping, going back and forth, honestly was arguing against himself, saying if the Giants want a chance of winning and Brian Daboll wants to keep his job, you start Jaxson Dart. That makes absolutely no sense. And then you got this guy, Mark Schlereth, saying, you know, you've got Washington, who's great. You got Philadelphia, who's great. You got the Cowboys, who are looking to bounce back. You just literally argued against yourself. You want to throw Jaxson Dart against that division of where they're at right now. The Cowboys, I don't think are that good, but it's still the Cowboys. They're going to whoop our ass all the time, no matter how bad they are. And you got Washington and the Eagles, who are leagues ahead of the Giants right now. What the Giants need is to stay competing. There is no more experimental seasons, okay? When you throw out Jaxson Dart, you are throwing away the season. Yes, can Jaxson Dart just automatically turn up out of nowhere and like have a Jaden Daniels type season? I guess, but that's so slim of a chance that why do you need to do that? The Giants literally prepared for this exact moment. I am so proud of the Giants front office. Listen, they've made a lot of mistakes in the past. That's why we're at where we're at right now. But they're making the necessary steps, the necessary moves to build back from that. And what you're asking the Giants to do is to literally rip the carpet or rip the rug right from under their foundation and just wing it. Just wing it. This is the first season where I feel like the Giants actually have a plan for this season, and what you're wanting them to do is to do what they've been doing for years. Just go out there and have fun. That's not what the Giants are looking for right now, and that's especially not what the Giants are looking for as far as Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll is concerned. Yes, is Jaxson Dart the heir apparent? Absolutely. But from everything that we're getting right now, it doesn't seem like, unless this season absolutely goes to shit, like 3-14 type season, I don't think Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen are going to be out of here. I think John Mara, as reluctant as he is to keep these guys, he believes in the vision. He doesn't want to keep firing and firing guys after a couple of years. He wants to allow these guys to get the pieces that they need, like a quarterback, develop them, and see what happens. If you do what you said, Mark Schlereth, you are asking the Giants to just turn in their card this season and just let it be all about Jaxson Dart and his development. The Giants are not in that position right now. There are jobs on the line. The fans are tired of experimental seasons. We've been experimenting with Daniel Jones for 6 years. You don't just throw Jaxson Dart out there, who everybody understands. He's not ready to go yet. We talked about it all the time. The man is still learning how to cadence. And now we're saying, let's throw him out there. You know, coming from an Ole Miss offense, Lane Kiffin gimmicky college offense. Yes, does Brian Daboll implement a lot of the things that Lane Kiffin installs in his offense? Absolutely. But you cannot sit here and tell me that Brian Daboll's offense is anything similar to a college gimmicky air raid type offense that Lane Kiffin runs, where it's just bubble screen short, RPOs, and then you just throw it deep and throw that bitch deep. You know what I'm saying? That is not Brian Daboll's offense, and it's a lot more complicated than that. If you watch him, if you watch all the play concepts on film, you got concepts everywhere. They switch up their blocking schemes. They do everything. Brian Daboll literally does everything. So it's going to be hard for Jaxson Dart to develop and learn. And yes, can he learn by physical, tangible experience? Absolutely. But you already have the pieces in place, like Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, who are already there. It's not like you have to go seek these guys now. They're already there. Russell Wilson was doing fine in camp. Jameis Winston is a mentor, a good mentor, and a good a leader in the locker room. Like, you've got guys there that are talented, that can provide some value there to help Jaxson Dart. So when he does start, he's able to play. You mentioned Dallas, Philadelphia, and the Cowboys, and you just want to throw Jaxson Dart out there? Like, these people argue against themselves. Like, do you think that Jaxson Dart is going to give this team a better chance of winning? What is the rush? You drafted him 25th overall. We didn't give up another first-round pick to trade up for the guy. It was a great trade, in my opinion. You know, I was never the biggest Jaxson Dart guy. I'm still not the biggest Jaxson Dart guy, but he's performing fine in camp. If the Giants even want to go ahead and promote him to QB2, go for it. That's okay with me. You know, if he winds up taking over some you know, at the end of the season, I could see that happening. I'm not totally against that. I would like for him not to, because that would mean that the Giants are actually doing well and they don't have to hit the panic button and throw Jaxson Dart out there. That would mean Russell Wilson is performing well. He's not injured. He's not hurt. He's not playing terribly. The best situation for the Giants is if Russell Wilson starts the entire season. And what is this crap talking about Russell Wilson? First of all, if you cut Russell Wilson, we're out here talking about cutting Russell Wilson? If you cut Russell Wilson, that's a $10 million dead cap hit already. The Giants are in frugal mode. We're trying to be as cheap as we can because our cap hit is still enormously big. We're paying dead cap. I think we got a very low dead cap number. I believe so. But we have some big contracts here. You know, we have Brian Burns, we have Dexter Lawrence, we have Andrew Thomas. You know, we have a couple of other guys, Bobby Okereke. We have a couple highly paid guys. Their contracts are expiring. We need to get this show on the road. We have no more time for experimental seasons. The Giants signed Russell Wilson to win now and develop their quarterback at the same time. Let Jaxson Dart learn from Russell Wilson, who their play styles are very, very similar. They were in Russell Wilson's prime. He was very aggressive in the run game. A lot of great in the rollout game. Can throw on the run like Jaxson Dart. Makes crazy off the cuff plays, off script plays. You know, very, very similar play styles, except Russell Wilson can throw an amazing deep ball, and that's something that Jaxson Dart can learn to develop on. He's got a decent arm, but it can get better. There's room for improvement. There is plenty of positives to allow Russell Wilson to play. And why do we keep talking about, listen, I know Denver Bronco fans, right? Denver Bronco fans just, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth when they hear about Russell Wilson at Denver, right? So now Russell Wilson spent 2 seasons with the Broncos. And look at this stat line. His first season with the Broncos in 2022, when we thought that team was going to make an amazing run because now they have Russell Wilson, he threw for 3,500 yards, which is which is great for a Giants quarterback, right? You bring that stat line onto the Giants quarterback, they might make a statue of you, you know, ever since Eli Manning retired. And then his stat line was 16-11. That's been the stat line, 16-11 touchdown to interception ratio. That's been the epitome of Daniel Jones for the past 6 years. That is Daniel Jones right there. And Broncos fans, that's not up to their standard. That's on our standard. 2023, this stat line, 3,070 yards, okay? The yards went down dramatically, but 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. I would take that any day of the week with our type of defense. I would take that. Remember, this is not a Giants team that's looking to make a Super Bowl run. This is a Giants team that's just looking for hope. Just looking for hope. Imagine if you start Jaxson Dart and the team goes 3-4, you cut Russell Wilson. Oh my God, imagine this. If you cut Russell Wilson, you go forward with Jaxson Dart, who everybody acknowledged before the draft that he's not ready to start, and you start him and the team goes 3-14, and they all those steps they took forward trying to recover, they just take those steps back, and then automatically it's in panic mode. Jaxson Dart is not the guy. We have to go back in the draft and go get another quarterback. We have to tank this 2026 season, and all of that is the march for Arch. You'll be starting it all over again. Why take the chance, Mr. Schlereth? Why take the chance? I get you're not a Giants fan. You're not in the Giants media. You don't understand anything that's going on with the team right now, as most mainstream media analysts do. And that's fine because they have to cover 32 teams. They're not involved with every single team, but it's terrible. It's just absolutely terrible to hear this. And then we talk about the Pittsburgh, his season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2,400 yards. He didn't start the whole season. He was on a good run, but then that, you know, Steelers fans, you know, they don't like Russell Wilson either because of the last, 4 or 5 games they lost straight. And they kind of, missed out on a really spectacular season. But Russell Wilson was fine. I mean, he's not the Russell Wilson of old, right? He's not Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson. But I think it speaks to how good Russell Wilson is that he puts up these types of numbers, and it's terrible. And everybody says it's terrible. But that's like great for Giants fans standards as far as how a quarterback is performing. Quarterback rating of 95.6 last year, quarterback rating of 98.0 in 2023, and 84.4 in 2022. That's good for me. That's good for me. We are just looking for hope. Just get us to win. We want to compete. We want to compete. You mentioned the NFC East. You think that Jaxson Dart's going to compete in the NFC East more than a Russell Wilson? This guy's a decorated future. I don't know about future Hall of Famer anymore. I really don't know about that. I don't know about that anymore. But Russell Wilson, I loved him. I love him. And we all know and love Russell Wilson for everything that he's done in the NFL. And he still got it. This whole thing that Russell Wilson has watch him. Watch him. Yes, he makes stupid mistakes. He's always done that. He's always done that in his career. He's always been a risk taker in his career. But the problem is Father Time's catching up a little bit. He's not as quick and flashy as he used to be. And then it starts catching up to him. But he's always been that. So everybody talking about how he just doesn't know what he's doing anymore. Russell Wilson just can't throw anymore. Where are you getting that from? Show me some film. I'm not saying he's great anymore, but he's definitely going to give us the best chance to win over Jaxson Dart. And I'm not saying Jaxson Dart is bad, but he needs to develop. Let's allow our future quarterback to develop, and let's not throw him to the wolves in a really good division this year and then just completely stunt our growth and hope in this team moving forward. Because I'll tell you right now, you start Jaxson Dart when he's not ready to play, and with this team only win 3 games in 2025, I mean, New York is going to fall apart more than it already is. So, that being said, that is the video, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys enjoyed the video. I am back. We are back. We're doing some big things on the RoundTable Sports channel. We're trying to get together a Giants roundtable. I'm very excited about that. So make sure you guys follow RoundTable Sports and the NFC East roundtable. I leave the link in the description for the NFC East roundtable. Make sure you guys follow us there, because when the season starts to ramp around, we're going to be posting a lot on there, especially a lot of live stream. That's where I'll be doing a lot of the live content. So that being said, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Russell Wilson should be cut and Jaxson Dart should start? Or do you have a brain? Let me know. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'll see you guys very, very soon.